mileage is a big question, mainly because at tax time, someone will be sitting with me and they'll say, well, I drove 7,000 miles last year. And I say, okay, do you have a log of that? And they'll say, a log? You know, they don't understand that it's really important that they keep some sort of log. And actually, I brought today flash drives that have, it's an Excel spreadsheet I created a couple of years ago that I use for mileage. It's a good way to start. It may or may not be helpful to you if you keep mileage. If you'd like one, please take one. Even if you don't use the mileage chart on it, it's a free flash drive. But the rate for 2015 is 57.5 cents. The spreadsheet is automatically formatted, so all you have to do is put a description of where you went, the mileage, and it will calculate it for you.
Question, so it's not easy to take the year, what you get mileage, and then calculate what you ended. That's not a good thing.
Well, you know, some people, if they say I drove 7,000 miles, my first question is your car solely used for business? And do you have a beginning and an ending? People always, and this is across the board, people do not write down, and I stress it, you know, on January 1st or whenever, the first part of January, write down the mileage of that vehicle. And if it's a vehicle that's solely used for business, then great, then they drove 7,000 miles. I don't know that I've ever really seen anybody get audited over mileage. Well, I did have a client who was audited because of her mileage. And yes, I think it was probably over the top. And actually she put together, it was after the fact, she ended up putting together a spreadsheet for mileage. Well, I say be proactive, do it before. I mean,
can I interject?
Sure.
Because we do represent clients that are being audited. That's our focus. And we see it, and especially when clients are taking larger deduction and claiming larger amounts of miles. So it does get looked at.
yeah, I guess they would consider it a red flag if it's, you know, over the top. But, I mean, any method that you use, the important thing is that you're using a method for it. A lot of people are reimbursed. I think you're reimbursed for mileage. But it's an important thing. You know, it goes on the tax return. Especially if you're claiming a car that you use partially for personal and partially for business, you really need some sort of mileage. So